Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you an inking up technique. Someone put a comment on a YouTube video I'd done and asked me to do these two cards. So they very kindly subscribed to my channel, so therefore I decided to showcase these cards today. So this is using the Snowflake Wishes stamp set and the In the Pines stamp set. There's the Snowflake Wishes. It comes with some dies as a bundle as well, and here is the Winter Snow embossing folder that goes with it. And then you've got the In the Pine stamp set, and this is the Tin Tile 3D embossing folder that goes with it. I've also used the Itty Bitty Christmas stamp set as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is to show you this card, which is the In the Pines. So I'm just going to put those to one side and put that to one side, and there you go, that's the card. But I'm doing it as a rectangular card, not a square card today. So I've done myself a sample here, which I know that I want to have the ink in the valley, in the indentations here. So I've made a note on here, ink on the black rectangle to get that effect. If I wanted that effect, I would put the ink on the writing side. So good to do yourself a tester like this. So I know what I want the ink on the black rectangle side. So I'm going to use Sponge Daubers for this, and it's Cherry Cobbler and Just Jade ink. So I'm going to start off with the Cherry Cobbler. Now, because the piece that I'm putting through is that big, I know that I only have to do this section here. So you just ink it up with your Sponge Dauber like that, and then I'm going to do the bits in between with some Just Jade. Every single card that you do like this is going to come out different, as you can imagine, depending on which colour you put most of on and where you put it. So I'm just going to put, I want a bit more Cherry Cobbler, I want it to stand out a bit more. So there we go. So now I'm going to get my cut and emboss machine ready there, and I'm going to get my spritzer, and I'm going to spritz the cardstock, the embossing folder first. Can you see that spritz there? And I'm going to get my piece of cardstock and I'm going to lay it on top like that, close up the embossing folder, and then this just has plate 1. Then it has the 3D embossing folder. This is an old 3D embossing folder with the white cardstock, and then I use a clear plate. If you had the new 3D embossing folders, the more recent ones, you'd use plate number 4 on top. So I'm just going to run this through, runs through really easy. And it's a fab machine, this cut and emboss machine, really goes through smoothly. So now if I just open that up for you, that side, and you can see, bit fainter than I might have liked, but you can see the variety in colour there. Probably I might have spritzed it too much, so I haven't got the same definition on this one as I had on that. Perhaps I didn't spritz this one, or I might have spritzed this one too much, but it doesn't matter, because that's the whole fun of the card. Now, I should probably just dry this one a little bit with a heat tool. So I've got my heat tool here, just dry it off a little bit. There we go, that'll do. And I've already embossed this piece of cardstock with one of these embossing folders called Wrapped in Texture. You get 2 in the pack, that's the one I used, and there's another one with little dots as well. So I've embossed that beforehand. So this is going to go on there. I'm just going to get my stamp and seal. I can choose which way to put it, but I've decided that I want it that way. So just apply my stamp and seal like that, and then I'm going to put that down like that. Now I want some ribbon around here, so I've actually, this is the red braid trim from the holiday catalogue, which is this one, and I've actually used a Sponge Dauber. It's this one, it's really nice. I've used a Sponge Dauber with Cherry Cobbler to make it into Cherry Cobbler. So I'm just going to tie a bow around here. Want that about there, I think, but I might change it depending on how things turn out. Probably got a bit too much here, but it doesn't matter, rather too much than too little really. If I just do that like that, and I can trim it off in a moment. You just play with it a bit like that. So hopefully you can see that. Yep. So that's going to go on there like that. And then, so I'll stick that down now. I'm going to use some Tombow for that, I think. Let's put some Tombow on. Because it's got wiggle room, Tombow, I always say to my ladies. So it means you can adjust it according to where you want it. I decided not to go with the extra green strip this time, which I had. I had a little green strip down there, but I decided not to do that. So the card is going to look a bit different probably. Then I'm going to put this up. This is just a background for the trees to be on, like that. And then probably I'll get my dimensionals for the trees. I think I'll stick this one straight down. And a little bit of glue there. Just put that up a little bit. And that's going to go like that. And then this cherry cobbler one I'm going to put on dimensionals. I don't think I need one on the trunk. I think hopefully it will stand up enough like this. It's going to be like that. And then I'm just going to cut off the trim. Don't want this bow to be too big. So about there, and probably cut it off there. Okay, and then I want to put this up on the sentiment on dimensionals as well. So I'll just put that and like that. And then I do need to add some gems to this, particularly because the cherry cobbler and the just jade hasn't come out as dynamic as I wanted it to. So the gems will just help to give it a bit more bling and interest. So choice of gems I can use our red rhinestones, or this holiday rhinestone basic jewel pack is lovely because it's got Night of Navy, Pool Party, Just Jade, or that could be Shaded Spruce, the red and a gold as well. So on this, I want some red and some green. So I'm going to put one there, and I'm going to put one there, and then possibly one here, and then one down here. So you can just see that that gives an extra bit of bling. So there's that finished card, and probably just to finish that off, I'm going to put a little bit of Winker Stella, because I think that will just give a little bit of sparkle, which is always good at this time of year when you're wanting to do things for Christmas and you're wanting to look a little bit sparkly. Just a bit of Winker Stella just gives that final touch, which is really good. So there you go, there's the finished card. So that's card number 1. So that's this one. And you can see how different it looks depending on how you apply the ink. So I'm going to put that to one side, possibly bring it back later. I'm going to put these inks away so that I don't get them muddled up with the next lot, which is a totally different colour scheme. I'm going to put that one back over there, and this one I'm going to put away over here. So the next card we're going to do is the Snowflake Wishes card. So that's this one here. So the colours I've used here are Pool Party, Misty Moonlight and Highland Heather as well. So I've got my colours here. That's Pool Party, Highland Heather and Misty Moonlight. Got my card base there, and I've got snowflakes and bits and pieces here. I haven't stamped my sentiment yet, but I will do soon. And that's the piece of card I want, because that's the bit that I'm going to do on the embossing folder. So just find the embossing folder, which is here. Now this is an ordinary, not a dynamic 3D embossing folder. So if I just feel it, I know that this is the raised side. So I want the side that's indented downwards with the snowflakes. So if I put the ink here, I know the snowflakes are going to come out white. Well, that's the plan anyway. Let's see if it works. So I'm going to put my jewels out of the way. And I've got 3 daubers here. I mark mine with pieces of cardstock. So this I use for purples, this one for dark blues, and this one for paler blues. So I'm going to start off with the palest colour first with the Pool Party. And again, if I just get an idea, I know I don't have to cover the whole area. But if I just... it doesn't matter if I do more of the Pool Party. In fact, probably a good idea if I just do it like this and get it all on with the Pool Party, and then it's quick. I could use a brayer to do this as well, or I could use a stamping sponge as well. So that's the pool party done. Now I'm going to take the Highland Heather because it's the next as far as being dark, and just do it. And I have no idea how this is going to turn out at all. Each one will be totally different. And now I'm going to take the Misty Moonlight. And I know I don't want too much of that, although saying that, the base card is Misty Moonlight, so I do want it to show up a bit. So there we go. So that's those three. And then I take my spritzer again, and I'm just going to spritz it off camera. Perhaps I won't spritz it quite as much this time. Move the ink pads up a bit. Get my stamp and cut machine up the right way round, so I have the handle facing me, which would be helpful. And then get that through there and get my piece of cardstock. I'm going to put in like that, and then I want to find, I have to have 2 plates for this, so I've got one there, and then I've got that there, and I've just got to grab another plate. There we go. Put one on like that, and then run it through. So that's plate number 1, plate, and then 2 of plate 2, the 3 plates that come with the machine. So the wonderful thing is these plates are numbered, so you know which ones to use. So I'm just going to put that to one side, and all will be revealed. There you go, but the snowflakes haven't come out as white as I wanted. Again, it might be because I spritzed it perhaps a bit too much, but I'm happy with that. That'll do. Oh, they'll probably come out a bit whiter when I dry them. I can just see as the ink is beginning to dry, they're coming out a bit whiter, but I really like that effect. You could use it for all sorts. So it's sort of almost making your own designer series paper. Just dry that there on the back. And that's actually coming out really nicely. Really pleased with that. So now I'm going to take my card with all the bits and pieces. And again, it's probably going to look a little bit different to the other one. I've actually found some shimmer white cardstock that I'm using this time. So I'm just going to grab my Tombow. Oh no, stamp and seal I think would be a good thing. It's very quick. Oops. So just get that ready. So you just lift it off quickly like that. And it's easy to use. And probably I'll put this one central rather than, so I'm leaving an equal amount of blue either side. Now this one I actually could, if I wanted to, run through with another embossing folder. So I think I used the Tasteful Textile 3D embossing folder before. So I'll just see if I've got it here in my basket, and if I haven't then I'll use another one. I think actually what I'll use is this one from the annual catalogue. So I'll just run that one through quickly off camera. You can see how this has come out now. So there you can see those oval shapes are sort of raised, and there they're indented, but I want them raised. So I'll just quickly put the stamp and seal on here. And again, I'll put this in the centre. But what I want to do is actually tie some ribbon round first. So this is the Pool Party sheer ribbon. So if I get that side and have that this side, well, I know I want to stick that on as well. So let me just stick that on first. So I'm going to stick that on like this and hope that I'll get it straight. Yep, I'm happy with that. So now I'm just going to put the ribbon underneath. So if I just put it on like that, There we go. And hopefully I've done that at about, I'll just cut this one off. Let's get my paper snips. And then I can choose how I want to tie it and everything as I do the rest of the card. So I've punched out a circle there, and I'm going to put that probably in the centre. Sort of there. And then I'm going to stamp on here, thank you so much, and I'm going to do that in Pool Party. So this is for this thank you so much is from the Snowflake Wishes stamp set, which is really useful to do your good for your post-Christmas thank you cards, I think. I'm just going to put some dimensionals on that. So 1, 2, 3. And just take the backs off. I always end up with the backs of the dimensionals all over the place. So I've got that like that. Now I'm going to stick my snowflakes on. So for these I will use Tombow. I'll just make sure I've got these little pieces out, because it looks nicer if you've got the snowflake like that. So just a little bit of Tombow on the back here. Bear with me, and I'll just put that there, and then I'm going to take this purple one, just get the little pieces out. I really should get my take your pick tool for that, which is really useful for all sorts of things, including getting out little pieces. I forgot to do this before I started the video, but anyway, it doesn't matter, nearly done it. That piece as well, making a right mess of my desk, which is the story of my life really. Shows I've been having a happy time crafting. It's really rainy here this afternoon, but you know, it really doesn't matter because I'm enjoying doing this video. So that's going to go like that. And I've got one here. Again, I need to take little pieces out. Just get that out. So this was a piece of the designer series paper that goes with the Snowflake Wishes suite. Which I just had left over that I'd cut a snowflake out of. So that one's going to go there. Doesn't stand out so well really, that one, but no matter. So apparently Liverpool was very busy today, somebody told me, because everybody's doing their Christmas shopping now that lockdown's coming next week. So do you know what? I'm probably going to do my shopping online this year. Or just make the Christmas presents, make boxes and things like that. So I hope I might be able to do some videos on that sort of thing, making your own Christmas presents and putting nice items in. So that's that. Now I've got to decide what coloured gems. I used just clear rhinestones on that one, but do you know what? I think I'll go back to these, and I think I'll have a Pool Party one up there. Like that, and I think I'll put a dark blue one here, and then I think I'll put another Pool Party one down here. Really like these holiday rhinestones because they bring in all the colours of Christmas, which is great. So the last thing I need to do is just to tie this bow. So here's a bow tying lesson for you. Left over right and twist it so that it looks like you're tying up a Christmas parcel. And then you just loop the front one like that, and then you take the back one over, put it behind and bring it through, and just pull it tight. And once you've pulled it tight, you first of all breathe a sigh of relief, and then you start playing with it to get it going the way that you want it to go. So I'll just pull that up. I want it a bit smaller, pull that down, tighten it again, pull that. This Pool Party ribbon is absolutely beautiful. Now I won't waste it because these little bits can go behind sentiments and just give a bit of extra bling, so that's what I'll do. So that's the second card. Compare it then to the first card. I think I prefer this ribbon. I think it looks more Christmassy and goes better. So those are those two cards for you. And then the other two that we did were with the In the Pines. So I hope you've enjoyed that video about how to ink up your embossing folders and use them for cards. So have a great day. Bye.